Quick, wife, hand me the spade and hoe, cried the greedy old fool as he danced with joy. So, thinking that he is about to get the treasure with the help of Muko, he ordered his old wicked wife to hand him the spade and hoe. And they were very greedy and they were completely fool, and he was dancing like anything. Then the covetous old fellow, covetous means greedy. Then the covetous old fellow with a spade and the old crone with a hoe. Crone means old woman. With a hoe began to dig, but there was nothing but a dead kitten. So those greedy couple, the greedy couple started doing to dig the ground where Muko was scratching. They started digging that ground, and all of a sudden what happened? It was stinking a lot. There was actually no treasure but a dead cat, dead kitten, the smell of which made them drop their tools and shut their noses. Because of it, that dead kitten was stinking badly. They dropped their tools and wrapped their noses. Furious at the dog, the old man kicked and beat him to death, and the old woman finished the work by nearly chopping off his head with the sharp hoe. They then flung him into the hole and heaped the earth over his carcass. Out of anger, what the wicked old couple did? They actually almost killed Muko by kicking him, throwing him over here and there, beating him, and almost the old wicked woman tried to chop off the dog's head. So just because of so much of beats, Muko died. And what the wicked old greedy old couple did? They buried that Muko into the earth, into the hole which they have made earlier. They placed Muko in that hole and covered it. The owner of the dog heard of the death of his pet and mourned for himself as if he had been his own child, went at night under the pine tree. So what happened? The owner of the dog, that means the good old couples, when they heard of the death of Muko, they were crying as if their own child has died. And looking to it, he went under the pine tree. He set up some bamboo tubes in the ground, such as are used before tombs, in which he put fresh flowers. Then he laid a cup of water and a tray of food on the grave and burned several costly sticks of incense. He mourned a great while over his pet, calling him many dear names as if he were alive. So what happened? That good old man was so sad, the couples were so sad that they were crying like as if their own child has died. And when he went to the pine tree where Muko was being buried, what he did? He placed some bamboo tubes in the ground, as if that was the tomb. Okay. In this way you can see in the picture. In this way he placed the sticks. And he placed some flowers over it. Then he laid a cup of water. He placed some water and some food over the grave. And he burned up several costly sticks of incense. That means in Hindi we say agarbatti. So he placed many costly incense sticks over there, and he mourned. He cried a lot, calling Muko with all loving names. That night the spirit of the dog appeared to him in a dream and said, "Cut down the pine tree over my grave and make from it a mortar for your rice pastry and a meal for your bean sauce." So on the when the good old man was mourning there, all of a sudden Muko's spirit appeared to the old good man in his dream. What Muko said? That you should cut down the tree where I am buried, which is over my grave, you should cut down that pine tree and try to make a mortar for your rice pastry. Mortar is, you can say, a machine to prepare rice pastry and a mill to prepare bean sauce. You can say these are some machines to prepare these two things, that is rice pastry and bean sauce. So the old man chopped down the tree and cut out the middle of the trunk, a section about 2 feet long. With great labor, partly by fire, partly by the chisel, he scraped out the hollow place as big as a small bowl. So what he did? He chopped the tree as it was said by Muko. Okay. So this is the way how he cut it. He chopped the tree. He cut out of middle of the trunk and section about 2 feet long. That means he divided the trunk into 2 feet long. With great labor, partly by fire, he used fire to scrape it, to make it a hollow, and with the help of it, he made it as big as a bowl. Okay. He then made a long handled hammer of wood. He made a hammer using that pine tree's trunk, such as it is used for pounding rice, to grind the rice. Pounding means to grind or crushing the rice. When New Year's time drew near, he wished to make some rice pastry, and it was time of New Year. He thought of preparing some rice pastry. When the rice was all boiled, Granny put it into the mortar. When rice boiled, the good old lady placed that rice into the mortar, that is the machine. The old man lifted his hammer to pound the mass into dough. So with the help of hammer, the old man was able to prepare that rice, boiled rice, convert it into a dough, and the blows fell heavy and fast till the pastry was all ready for baking. And after blowing it, they prepared rice pastry by baking it. Suddenly the whole mass turned into a heap of gold coins, and all of a sudden what happened? That the pastries which he was preparing were all of a sudden turning into gold coins. Okay, they were no more rice pastry, but they were converting into heap of gold coins. So when the old woman took the hand mill and filling it with beans and began to grind, the gold dropped like rain. And when the good old woman, took the hand mill that was being prepared by the old man from the pine tree, she filled that mill with beans to prepare sauce. But what happened? Instead of getting sauce after grinding it, she was getting gold coins. Meanwhile, the envious neighbor peeped in at the window when the boiled beans were being ground. And the very moment the greedy old couple were just peeping out the window, they saw this miracle happening. "Goody me!" cried the old hag as she saw each dripping of sauce turning into yellow gold, until in a few minutes the tub under the mill was full of shining mass of gold. So that wicked, greedy old lady, when she noticed from her window that the good old couples are getting coins in place of sauce or rice pastries, they were getting coins, she became jealous. Okay, in few moments the tub and the baskets were filled with gold coins. So the old couple were rich again. So the old good couple became rich again. The next day the stingy and wicked neighbor came and borrowed the mortar and magic wheel. So what happened? The jealous, the greedy old couple came to the good old couples and asked to borrow the mortar and the magic meal. They filled one with boiled rice and the other with beans. So one of them filled the mortar with boiled rice and the mill with beans to prepare rice pastry and sauce. Then the old man began to pound and the woman to grind. And so they started pounding the mortar and women started grinding the mill. But at the first blow and turn, the pastry and sauce turned into a foul mass of worms. So as soon as those greedy couple, they gave a hammer to the dough, to the boiled rice, and the wicked old woman tried to grind the beans, all of a sudden what happened? There was a stinky smell coming out of it, and actually there was a foul mass of worms. There were worms actually, there were no gold coins, but there were worms. Still more angry at this, they chopped the meal into the pieces to use as firewood. So what happened? Out of all anger, out of all those smell in anger, what they did? They took those pieces of meal and mortar. They chopped it. They broke those machines and used it as the firewood. Okay. Now coming to the second part of this story. Not long after that, the good old man dreamed again, and the spirit of the dog spoke to him, telling him how the wicked people had turned the mill made from the pine tree. And what he said, take the ashes of the mill, sprinkle them on the withered trees, and they will bloom again, said the dog spirit. So, as soon as the wicked old couples tried to burn that mortar and mill, the spirit of dog, that means the spirit of Miyuko, again appeared in the dreams of good old man and explained that how the wicked old couple had harmed the mortar and the meal, and he suggested that to take the ashes of that mortar and meal and to sprinkle them on withered trees. Withered trees means which are dead, the trees which are dead, dry and dead, which has got no life. So what Miko's spirit told the good old man to collect all those ashes of mortar and meal which the wicked couple had already burned, to collect them and sprinkle those ashes on the dead trees. And as soon as he'll sprinkle those ashes to the dead trees, the trees would become alive and they will bloom again. The old man awoke and went at once to his wicked neighbor's house, where he found the miserable old pair sitting at the edge of their square fireplace in the middle of the floor, smoking and spinning. So as soon as he woke up, the good old man woke up, he, with first instance, went to the wicked old couple's house, where both the wicked couples were sitting together nearby the fireplace. From time to time they warmed their hands and feet with the blaze from some bits of the meal, while behind them lay a pile of broken pieces. So what the good old man noticed, that they were trying to warm their hands and feet with the wood which they have broken through mortar and meal. Okay, some of the pieces of mortar and meal were placed behind them, and they were trying to heat up their hands and feet. So the good old man humbly asked for the ashes, though the covetous couple turned up their noses at him and scolded him as if he were a thief. They let him fill his basket with the ashes. So what happened? Since then also, the good old man very humbly asked that, please give me the ashes of my mortar and meal. Even though the covetous couple, that means the greedy couple, turned up, that means they treated the good old man as if he was a thief. Okay, and allowed him to collect the ashes. On coming home, the old man took his wife into the garden. It being winter, their favorite cherry tree was bare. So as soon as he collected the ashes, the good old man collected the ashes. He went to his good old wife and asked her to come to the garden. And since it was winter season, their favorite tree was the cherry tree, which was all dead. So he sprinkled a pinch of ash on it, and lo, it sprouted blossoms until it became a cloud of pink blooms, which perfumed the air. So as soon as the good old man sprinkled a pinch of ash on that dead cherry tree, what happened? All of a sudden, there were pink flowers. They were blossoming. The tree was all in pink now, and there were the beautiful perfume air was blowing over there. So the news of this filled the village, and everyone ran out to see the wonder. And this news spread into the village like anything, and all the people gathered over there. The covetous couple also heard the story, and gathering up the remaining ashes to the meal, kept them to make withered trees blossom. And the greedy couple also heard the story, and they also gathered over there. And what they did? They collected the remaining ashes of the meal from their own house, from their fireplace, and ran out to see the miracle made by the good old couple. The kind old man, hearing that his lord, the daimyo, was to pass along the high road near the village, set out to see him. Taking his basket of ashes, as the train approached, he climbed up into an old withered cherry tree that stood by the wayside. So, the good old man heard that a daimyo, as told, daimyo means the landowner. So the landowner was about to pass from that high road. So what he did, what the good old kind man did, he took the basket of ashes and went towards that road. And as soon as the train of that daimyo, the landowner, approached, he climbed up into the dead cherry tree, and he stood there only. Now in the days of the daimyos, it was the custom when their lord passed by for all the loyal people to shut up their high windows. So in the time of landowners in Japan, what was the rule? That whenever the landlord or the daimyo would pass from their places, the doors and windows which were over the head of the daimyo or the landowner should be closed. All the places which were high, all the windows or doors which were high from that place should be closed. They even pasted them fast with a slip of paper. They also tightened the doors with the help of paper, so as not to commit the impertinence of looking down on his lordship. So in the way so that they are not pretending to put down the honor of the daimyo. All the people along the road would fall upon their hands and knees and remain prostrate until the procession passed by. And the people along the side road, whosoever used to see the daimyo passing from there, they used to kneel down. Okay, and as soon as the procession goes by, then only they were allowed to stand up.